Our first guest has a story that'll blow your mind. Ryan Wagner, who lives in Makoti, North Dakota, holds the world record for running the Everest Mail run. That's right, folks. This guy, along with two teammates, ran a 400-mile marathon from the Mount Everest base camp to the city of Kathmandu. And he shattered the world record doing it. Ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by the Starving Rooster, please welcome to Good Night Minot, Mr. Ryan Wagner. Ryan, it appears you have some fans out in the audience here.
Well, thank you.
And I got to tell you, the first two guests we had on the last episode, we had these mugs for them as well. And I made sure, when at the end of the interview, I said, please take this mug with you when you leave. And they left, and then I found them in the green room. So when I got here today, I just grabbed them off the shelves they had, and I brought it out here for you.
That works for me.
But we are so excited you could be on the show. I mean, it's just thrilled to hear your story.
Well, thanks for having me. I'm glad that's not Old Milwaukee in there. The first time I drank it was Old Milwaukee, and that's the last time I ever drank it.
You mean this guy right here?
No thanks.
All right, well, cheers, man.
That's all yours.
I thought maybe to start, you could tell us what exactly is the Mount Everest Mail Run?
Well, it's crazy, I guess, for starters. It was originally, they sent mail to Kathmandu for the climbers that would climb Everest, and somebody would have to bring it up there, so that's what somebody did. They ran the mail up to the climbers at Everest Base Camp.
So what you're saying is it's exactly as simple as the title suggests.
Exactly, yep.
So I'm assuming that you were probably in a little better shape then than you are now, but...
Yes, the holidays.
Yeah. So for a race like that, what's the prep look like?
Just run as much as you can, I guess. And,
yeah. Just
stay away from this guy.
Yeah, the old, the running part, right?
Yeah.
Just
Unfortunately, you do have to run in order to do stuff like this, and it's kind of the downside. But
well,
at least it gets me away from my kids. I have 5 kids, so
right.
that's why I run these long things, to get away from them.
It's a good thing that this is recorded, so I can hear you say that later.
They already know.
That's true love, right there.
You'll be like, what are we doing for Father's Day? And they'll be like, well, here's this thing.
I'm trying to find something longer, but
right.
Yeah.
Yep. So, speaking of running, how did you get here tonight?
Yeah, it's too cold to run,
okay.
man.
So what you're saying is you can set a world record for a 400-mile race, but you can't run 44 miles from Makoti to be in our show tonight. So I know from visiting with you that you got a large family, and you mentioned that. How supportive has your family been throughout this, throughout your career and doing the racing?
Oh, unbelievable. My wife is just, well, I probably would quit a lot of my races, but she wouldn't let me.
I remember you saying something that, and I also remember you mentioning something a little bit about a black panel van type.
Yes.
Kind of cheerleading? Would you
We have a large conversion van, a 9-passenger van, has a big 32-inch TV in it, DVD player, super comfortable, right? It's really comfortable.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I got it.
The back seat folds down into a bed, and one race I was doing south of Fargo, and it was getting towards the dark, and we started early, so it must have been probably 40, 50 miles into the race. And I come up over this little hill, and I see the big black van, and I'm super excited. I finally get some food, some Gatorade.
Yeah.
Come running up about a half a mile, I could see it, just waiting for my kids to jump out and, kind of join me the last little bit in. And half a mile, quarter of a mile, still nobody. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? get even closer. All of a sudden I can hear Finding Nemo playing in the in the conversion van, right? So I get up to the windows, I'm looking in the windows, and here my wife and kids are all crashed out in the back.
Oh no.
I can see Finding Nemo playing and pounded on the van, and they didn't wake up. So I just had to continue on.
So do you think any of your kids are going to follow in your footsteps, literally?
I don't know. I hope so, but if they don't, I guess that's cool too.
Right. So when you go on these runs for hundreds of miles, literally, what kind of gear and food does a guy bring with him?
A lot of the races have food, so they have like quesadillas and
Big fan,
those
yeah.
are good for sure.
Yeah.
In the morning they'll have pancakes.
So there's one thing that can get me through a run, it's a
There you
quesadilla.
go, yeah. Run to the next aid station.
Right,
That's what'll keep you going. And then you pack your own,
Okay.
food. So
Yeah.
and then you have a vest that holds all your gear and water. So yeah, it's.
So while you're out there running, literally tracking through the wilderness here, you must have seen a few crazy things.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I saw garage sales and animals and all sorts of crazy stuff. Yeah. After 65 hours of not really sleeping, I have a tendency to hallucinate from time to time.
Yeah.
So
And it doesn't have to do anything with the food you make for yourself on the run.
perhaps.
So while you're out there, have you ever been lost, or have you been, found to not be that prepared for the race?
Yes, I have. I have been lost for 8 hours. And they had to send a crew out to find me. Yeah,
I
got
got
kind of out of it a little bit. Yeah, I don't think I ate or drank as much as I should have, and just kind of was on the trail and just decided to hang a left. And
like left here seems good.
yeah, yep. I don't know. Maybe I saw a sign that said "hang a left." I don't know.
Yep. So I got to imagine a little bit that when they're going to send some people out on a 400-mile race, that maybe they tack them with a GPS or something. Did you have any experience with that when you were lost?
Yeah, I was supposed to download something onto my phone. And, of course, my wife said, you better do it. And
Right.
of course, I didn't listen.
Yeah.
And so now I have a tendency to listen to her a little bit more anyways.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah. So, yeah, I got to imagine that on a 400-mile race, we talk about the 5Ks and things like that, and people are sprinting their way to the finish. What's the last little bit of the race look like when you're going 400 miles?
Oh, it's awesome because you're done. That's probably the best part, the last little bit, because you know that you're done.
Yeah.
And that's it.
So I know that you wanted to give a couple shout outs while you're up here tonight, talk a little bit about End Racing, and I think it was Destin that you wanted to give a shout out to.
Yeah, Faces the Thunder. That's a crew that helped me with lots of prayers and just support. Of course, my wife, Whitefish Woman.
Yep.
And my family, of course. Jeez, now you got me all emotional.
I know, I'm sorry. That was good. So, you're tackling a lot of things with running, you're really making a difference, but what impact is it that you hope to have on, racing, whether it be in North Dakota or your families or the people around you?
Just to motivate people, just to get out there. I started with a mile, and my wife can tell you that, that first mile was tough.
Yeah.
But yeah, just persevere through it, and don't be fearful. That's would have held me back from this 400-mile race. Like, I didn't know if I could do it, but don't be fearful of that, because you don't know if you don't try.
Yeah, well, definitely. I think Ryan's a testament of some perseverance and hard work here. Let's hear a little bit for Ryan. I know you have a pretty remarkable story, and I would also like to share a story with you. And so, over the holiday season and things like or maybe just year round, where dads read their kids, stories and they go to bed and maybe they're motivated. I don't know, but it's just kind of an endearing moment. Well, we're going to test Ryan's athleticism a little bit during this next story. And I've got a story that's based around the night before Christmas that has to do with Minot. And so what I thought is I would read the story. And for endearing, you could hold me in your arms up here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. But if you could also wear this hat, that'd be great. So, all right. I wasn't kidding about the holding up here, because we want to see just how athletic you are.
Over here?
Yeah. Well, I could sit on your lap here. I was thinking you could hold me like wedding style. Right? What do you think, guys? Can you do it? All right.
This is going to be a long story.
Yep. All right. So, 'twas the night before Christmas, and all through the city, the council was begging for everyone's pity. The parking garages were decorated with care in hopes that people soon would park there. Mayor Sitma was nestled all snug in his bed, while visions of flood protection danced in his head. And I in my beanie and Miles in his cap were exchanging the chat by way of the snap. When out in the street there arose such a clutter, I rushed to the window to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash and saw drunk people knocking over the trash. The moon on the breast of new-fallen snow gave luster strewn objects there down below. When what to my wandering eyes did appear, but the mall Santa and 7 empty beers. He pulled out his cell phone and dialed so fierce, and he yelled obscenities, that jolly Saint Nick. Was holding the button and was yelling at Siri, and I know what he said, he yelled it so clearly. Now Uber, now Lyft, now Minot Taxi, on Premier, on Central, on Passerby Hippie. To the top of the hill, to the landing off Sale, and dash away, so I can get some ale. Let's give it up for Ryan, everybody.
He did it! He did it! He held him the whole time! Nice! Wow!
Ryan Wagner, everybody, let's hear it for Ryan. Thank you so much. Here's your mug. Take it home with you.
Do I get the hat too?
Yeah, well, if you need it, you can have it. Let's give it up for Ryan.